That's something that has been really important to me, is like being in my car, being in my house, and having those spaces be, relatively organized. I am not a neat freak. I am somebody that has a little bit of clutter, and I really want to change that because I want to feel peace and calm in my surroundings. Welcome to Tune In, Discovering Your Authentic Self. Today's topic is going to be, when we embark on a journey, we have an expectation of what we're going to get at the end of the journey. We always have these expectations. We have our plan of the whole thing. And I wanted to share an example of something. I do this too. I have an idea of what I want to get out of it, why I'm applying for it, why I am jumping into something. And I have an idea of like what's going to come at the end, and it ends up not being that at all. So about 3.5 months ago, Kevin, who's my podcast producer that was on the podcast last time, came to me and asked if I wanted to join a podcast and business growth coaching group that was for 3 months. And I immediately said yes. So I make decisions from my gut. So I've been trying to really add the logic to those decisions, because sometimes, the gut doesn't take responsibility for finances or other people's feelings and things like that. So I've been really trying to bring in the logic and intellectualizing my decisions instead of just going all with intuition, because even though I'm heavy into that, it can't be all. So, but I know that growing my podcast, growing the business, the coaching business, is something that I want to do. That's a definite. So when he asked me, I said yes. But what I didn't fully vet was my ability to show up in the group 100%. And I like to do that because I want to try to get everything out of it. I want to, be able to get something out of it, as well as add to it, to the other people in the group. It was a small group. I think it was maybe like 10 people, 12 people max. So what I didn't vet was that I didn't probably have all the time and energy to put into it as I would have liked, because starting a new job, still being relatively new to my job, as well as baseball season and being a single mom. So I was not able to join the calls live on Tuesday afternoons, because either I was working or I was going to baseball, or it wasn't something that I was prioritizing. But I was listening to them, the replays. I would say probably like 60-70% I listened to the replays. So about a third of the way into the 3 months, so after about a month, I recognized that I wasn't going to be joining live for the next couple of weeks. And it bothered me. It really bothered me, because I was like, I want to do this 100%, but I'm not going to be able to do that. And so I wanted to give up, and I wanted to just say, okay, I'm not doing this. But at the same time, I felt like it was a test for me to stay connected to the group as much as I could and get something out of it the best that I could. So I challenged myself to stay connected to it and see kind of where it took me and where it led me. It was hard because I wanted to do it 100% and I wanted to be all in. And I had to kind of be humble about that and be honest and transparent to the group. Like, hey, I'm not going to be live a lot. I'm not as vocal on the WhatsApp chat. And, but what I did get out of it was, in the beginning, the first week, we had an assignment where we had to list 3 actions that we were going to take that were going to help us meet the 3 goals that we set. So we set 3 goals. Everyone's were different based on what they wanted in their life. And then 1 action that we would do daily to get us closer to that goal. So my goals changed about 2 or 3 weeks in. 2 of them did. I can't even remember what they were, but they transformed into different goals, which were more in alignment, because I was finally able to be honest with myself about what I was sucking at in life and being able to work on those things instead of picking things that I was normally good at. Like, of course, I'm going to, I would pick like maybe exercise daily. Well, I've been doing that forever. So like, that's not really getting out of my comfort zone. Okay. So I decided to finish this outside because one of my kids was playing music and singing in the shower. So I decided to stay the course, even though I wasn't going to be able to be completely consistent on it. And I decided that I was going to really stick to the daily activities in order to meet my goals. So I'm going to share what my 3 goals were. The first one was to save $1,000. The second one was to work on nervous system regulation. And the third one was, oh my gosh, I always blank on what the third one was. Oh, organize my house. And so that's something that has been really important to me, is like being in my car, being in my house, and having those spaces be, relatively organized. I am not a neat freak. I am somebody that has a little bit of clutter, and I really want to change that because I want to feel peace and calm in my surroundings. So I decided that I was going to stick with the daily activities, and I was probably somewhere between 80 and 90% consistent in all three of those. The somatic work, or the second goal about nervous system regulation, I think I was 100%. Maybe I missed one out of 90 days. Okay, so for the first goal of saving $1,000, the action I wanted to do and did do daily was check and balance my checking account. And that's not something that I was doing regularly. And so I don't know where the money is going all the time. And, normally I have enough, but it's not like I'm not super intentional about it. And in order to receive more money in life, manifest more money, and be financially free, you need to be better with money. So I was able to do that, I think, somewhere between 80 and 90% of the time. And it has become a habit where I wake up in the morning, and after I do my meditation and somatic work, I will check and balance my checking account. So that feels really good to like start my day and know how I did yesterday and be able to adjust for the next day. The second one was nervous system regulation, and the action was somatic work and meditation daily. And that is something that I was meditating daily, but I wasn't doing the somatic work. So now I am doing that added to it. So that just means feeling my feelings and feeling what's going on in my body, as well as the meditation, because all of our nervous system shows up dysregulated, like in our bodies. It's not just it's not our mind only, it's in the body, like that book, The Body Keeps the Score. And the third one was organization. And so having a more organized car, having a more organized house, pantry. So the daily activity, the daily action was to organize one part of the house or the car every day. And so I got really good about making sure the kitchen was clean at the end of the night and in the morning before I went to work. So I wasn't walking into a house after work and having the kitchen be unkept. Now, mind you, the boys were home from spring break, so that didn't necessarily happen, but at least I did my part. And so the gift of this was I went into this wanting to grow my podcast, wanting to grow the business. And these action steps and these goals will eventually lead me to that. But that's not what happened in the 3 months. But it did help me develop these habits to stay. And like they are here to stay, which is amazing because, there's lots of mixed research about when a habit will develop. Sorry, that is my dog with the chewing on a water bottle. So I did develop that, and that was the gift of this. And now I am able to continue that. And if there's other things that I need to be doing, have that goal and add that and just stay consistent, because that's how change really happens. So I hope this helps inspire you that like when you embark on a journey, stay the course. You don't know what's going to come out, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a new hobby or some kind of activity that you do. You don't know what's going to come out of it. And there are always blessings and there's always manifestations that come at the end. So have a great day.